tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello!
Welcome! There we go.
Guys, welcome to the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We are also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. Let me introduce my full panel. Yay!
Finally!
Yeah, Lauren Salaun is here.
Hey guys, Lauren Salaun is here. You can find me all over the internet at Lauren Salaun.
Isabelle Do.
And it's Isabelle Do here. I've missed you guys. You guys can find me all over in the internet at Isabelle Do. There's only one, just me.
And DJ Jesse J.
Hey, check out my new website, jessejane.com.
Yay! All right, we are talking about starstruck victims.
Dun, dun.
The episode, the story we all know with a twist.
Did we know it?
Yeah, okay. So I got a lot of
twist?
tweets, people asking me what the hell this episode was, because it wasn't any one episode. And I went and looked at a bunch of reviews, and everyone going, oh, it's a Cosby story with a twist, or oh, it's a this with a twist. And then I read an interview with Rollins who says, with
I read that same
that
interview.
they took a story we all know, but it really could be anyone.
Yeah, I saw that.
How PC.
Yeah. It's kind of, I personally feel like it was a cop-out. Like, instead of doing a story we want to hear, they were like, let's just throw them all together and call it a day.
I mean, I felt like the last episode, they kind of threw a little bit of Cosby in it. And then this one's more Cosby heavier. And I think they're just going to throw it here and there throughout the season. But is there going to be one solid episode just about the Cosby
That makes it so clear.
Yeah, that's so obvious. Probably not.
Well, they'll actually wait until after his
results.
wife actually testifies, because now she has to. So.
Yeah. All right, before we break down this episode, we have some important information to share with you all. Lauren, give them a hotline if they need it.
Yeah, you guys, here's the RAIN, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. Ooh. It's 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-HOPE.
Awesome. We have that number for you in case you need it, in case you're in a situation. Please make sure you speak up. That said, this episode, again, talks about very serious topics, and sometimes it gets real dark, and the only way is to make light of it. So sometimes we do that.
Siri?
Oh, God. My Siri. Sorry, guys.
Siri did not agree with it.
Sorry, guys. She thinks I'm talking to her all the time. God, you're not my only friend, Siri. So anyway,
Bitch, please.
So please be aware that we will make some jokes, and we apologize if we offend you, but that's why we give you a hotline in case you need it. Good?
Let's do it.
Great. Now we
Great.
can say awful things.
Woohoo!
Here it begins.
All right, let's talk about our victim.
Christy Cryer.
Christy Cryer, the vlogger.
What an unfortunate dubbed character name.
Yeah.
You were not a fan of any of the character names this week.
No, I mean, they sound so ridiculous. I wrote them down. Bobby D'Amico.
Yeah.
Noel Panko. Like,
Noel Panko.
I swear we've heard these names before. They just switched out like one or two letters. Like, here's a new character.
I feel like everyone grew up with a Bobby D'Amico. Like, I feel like you know a Bobby D'Amico somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like I know a Panko.
I feel like we've had probably Joel Panko, and now we have Noel Panko. I didn't have a problem with the names. I had a problem with her as a vlogger. We talked about this. She has 8,000 views on her.
800.
704.
Like an average of like 500 to 700 views per video.
Okay, sweetheart. Do you not know how to vlog properly?
Well, and it's just interesting that they're making it out to be like, oh, this girl's like a
Like she's
social
Perez
media, she's a
Hilton.
vlogger, you know, like iJustine
Yeah.
or something. You're not making like any money off of 800 views a video.
Yeah. But also, like, you clearly are not social media savvy.
Right.
Because also, this also really bugged me. So when she was recording everything, I was like, you're recording this that later you're going to go edit it and, like, put it up in your videos. you realize this would be so much more impactful if you live streamed.
If you're doing Periscope instead, girl.
In my head, I was
My
like, why
gosh.
isn't she Facebook living? Like, what? Does she not know how to do that?
I think she has to be a newbie vlogger because then it adds to the whole like, well, she's climbing on somebody else's fame. But it would have been much more interesting had she been a legit established vlogger.
Right, because still, even with vloggers and more social media sensations, they aren't in that mainstream like TV or movie world exactly. So even if it was a bigger person who's trying to cross into more traditional, entertainment industry, then it would still make sense. But it was kind of
It blew my mind that they let her walk around so many places videotaping.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's recording everything. I tried to Periscope at the grocery store. My brother hit me. So, things to keep in mind.
You guys have all seen what happened when I
Used
my selfie stick the last time.
Guys, I don't know if you heard, but I have a selfie stick and it hit me in the face. I'm Lauren Salaun. I have a selfie stick. It hit me in the
Not
face.
anymore.
Good.
I hope you write to them. Complain.
Okay, so let's talk about.
I can see that going viral, by the way.
Right?
That would be a viral.
Woman sues the selfie stick makers.
All right, we're only a little off topic. I want to be clear, it's really just a little. All right, so our victim omits things as they always do, and then she reveals what really happened. So the story goes, she went downstairs with Bobby D at his club.
Bobby D.
Yeah.
Of course.
Get some D.
Nice. Isn't Benson's baby's father Johnny D?
Yeah.
Johnny, played by Charles something or other. Johnny D.
Johnny
And
D.
now we have Bobby D. It's like they couldn't.
See, it's just, there's a rhythm to the
I mean,
name
it's 17 seasons, y'all. Got a little break.
I mean, we have yet to meet a Yael. I'm gonna be honest.
That would be so cool if they actually dedicated some people to us.
Character.
Just saying, Law and Order, SVU writers.
All right,
know.
calm down.
A friend of mine knows Dick Wolf. Oh, we'll see.
Okay. Anyway, so Bobby D.
Yale's episode would be amazing.
Stop.
Sorry.
So Bobby D goes down to the bathroom with Christy. And I'm sorry, my favorite line, you guys are with me when I saw this. My favorite line is when Benson says, "What exactly did you say to us?" I don't know, her face was in my lap.
And I loved
Olivia's
Liv's
face.
reaction. She's like, like that was almost her actual reaction. I feel
Yeah.
like taping.
Yeah.
And they just kept it or something because it was
Yeah.
so good.
It was so good. But he said that my favorite line was when he said, "Oh, we made beautiful love for 3 minutes."
30 minutes, yeah.
3 minutes?
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Like, and he's like gladly boasting this, like running around like, yeah, no, we messed around. 3 minutes. I was in, out.
Yeah, homie, no.
Maybe he's used to only being 30 seconds, so like 3 minutes is an accomplishment for him. Good for you, Bobby T.
Milestones.
Anyway, so they went down for consensual oral sex, as one does, I guess, in a club. And then it turned violent when Noel decided to join with his puppy dog eyes. Who wants to reveal to the audience who Noel is?
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
He played, what was his name on? He was in Hook.
He was a little kid in Hook. We're all watching and we're like,
Yeah.
why does he look so familiar? And I said out loud, he was a kid at once, which is a really deep statement.
Yeah.
But I knew him as a child. He's one of the guys in
One of the
Hook,
Lost
one of the
Boys.
Lost
Yeah.
Boys.
He played Don't Ask is the name of his
That
stage
is
guy.
kind of
Yep.
hard to, but one of like the main ones.
But if you see it, you definitely
You would
recognize
see, it's great.
Yeah,
It's so good.
He has Google images of himself, so that's easily.
Yeah, what was
You guys
his
can
name
search.
again? Shoot, now we need to tell people what his actual name is.
None of you wrote it down?
Oh,
No.
crap.
I'm just-
Too into
It's
the
okay.
Hook picture.
Something Matteo. Johnny Matteo.
James. Matteo.
James Matteo.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Yep,
glad
James
he's still getting
Matteo.
work.
Yeah,
out here.
good for
James
him.
Matteo.
For a second, I thought he was the short guy from Sex and the City, but he wasn't. Anyway, so he wants to do her, and she says no, and so they do anyway. Oh, SVU. Okay, so we had a lot of discussion while we watched, because we get real heated, about the way the case was handled before trial, in that she came and made her claims, and we had Papa Dodds kind of maneuvering and telling us where to go.
Yep.
God, Papa Dodds was so annoying this episode. I felt like he was power tripping a lot, and he was the epitome of, the whole let's stick to the blue line here.
He's a celebrity.
Yeah, like nepotism at its finest, really. And I was surprised that he was trying to convince everybody, like, he was trying to downplay the whole situation, when in any other situation I felt he would have been a little bit more empathetic with the victim. But here he was just, dude, it's my boy, like...
Yeah.
It's interesting because American Crime Story on right now with the OJ thing.
You need to stop drawing connections with this and OJ.
Why?
Just
but I'm
go
just
on.
saying,
Just
it's
go
a police show. But, it's the same thing. We see when he had gotten arrested, we saw all these kids who, the police were sitting there, oh, he's, this celebrity.
Yeah.
So we see in the same thing where in the middle of him giving a testimony, all of a sudden he breaks off and he's like, oh, wait, you should probably have a lawyer here for that.
Yeah. It was so casual.
It just was like... Why? He's giving a testimony. He's old enough to know a statement. So
yeah, he said it so casually, like, "Oh, buddy, hey, just so you know, like, kind of like, yeah." It was shady.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought they were gonna bring that back. By the way, I thought they were gonna, I don't know, bring it back to Papa Dodd.
Push so far back at him.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like Papa Dodds is taking over the role that Hank from last week left, now that there's no one, I guess the deputy chief of public relations or whatever his title was officially. Dodds is now stepping in to kind of keep things quiet because they had such a huge blow up last week. And not to get into predictions, but with the look of next week's trailer, the whole system is falling apart.
Right.
So I feel like that might have been part of it.
True, like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I see that.
Okay. All right, so let's jump to the case in court. Yeah? So we're in court, and we have... before that, let's talk about the other victim. So
The other girl.
The other girl. At this point, I expected there to be a roll of more girls coming out.
I thought so too. I thought there was going to be a whole flood of victims kind of coming through from all the woodwork.
Especially because it felt like Baby Dodds, because he's like, I don't like him, he's not my friend. I feel like he knew. Or that there were rumors. And that he was aware of these things, and that there would be more. I just expected more of a Cosby.
Or even that we would at least see more from that other victim. It was just that quick conversation. There we go, that's done.
Yeah.
But do you think they were giving us that taste to make us feel like, okay, well, it's again hearsay? Because kind of like you were saying before the show, I would know who to side with until Rollins went down and got that video. Even with the other girl saying, oh, I did it. It could have been a setup. It could have been, like the other girl said, she heard that girl's story, went down there to catfish this guy to get clicks on her page. So I'm surprised that they didn't bring her back in, or at the end, that's where I thought the twist was she was going to come in and stand up for her or something. Yeah. But
I think the reason why they didn't bring her up again was because they kind of closed that loop where she got a PA job
on his show.
Yeah. So it would have looked bad if they tried to play that out in trial anyways. So they're like,
wait, on his show?
Yeah,
his Netflix show.
On Bobby
that's
G's
American.
show.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would have looked bad on everybody's part if they decided to bring her as a witness. Right. But usually in previous cases, this is not new, where they try to lure people, other victims to come forward, but they would do it in ways like, bringing it to the press. Like one time Olivia had her, tabloid friend write something, and then people came towards them about that, but came forward to them about that. But with this situation, I think because Bobby D is such a famous person, apparently, I guess they couldn't really do that.
Well, he has a Golden Globe and went to Yale.
Yeah.
Guys.
And he's played a cop 10 times. Like 10 seasons.
Yeah. He knows how police work.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're in the trial, and I want to talk about Buchanan because he real pisses me off.
Always.
He takes the cases with the shakiest victims. You know what I mean? Like, he was the one who did the case with the girl who was doing porn to support herself through college.
Oh yeah.
He took the case of the teenage misunderstanding date rape one.
He's a slut shamer type.
Absolutely.
He's so condescending.
Yes. He is always victim blaming.
Yes.
Well, but that is literally his job.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like, he only takes those cases.
Yes.
Right? Like, usually we see people who do different things. I mean, we used to have, oh gosh, I don't remember his name, but he was a law teacher who turned into a lawyer, who turned into a judge. Can't remember what his name was, but he always did First Amendment cases. But like this one, it's not like he does, SVU cases. He does specifically cases with shaky victims and then slut shames and victim blames them.
Yeah.
In the most like painful way to watch.
It is cringeworthy.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor.
I mean, it's the show.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Applause for Delaney Williams. That is the actor's name, everyone.
He's
No,
very, very
just-
good at
Oh,
that.
and
Yeah.
Hanan and
Yeah.
Audrey are
a
saying
chat.
that there is a chat. Hey guys, that
Good job monitoring it.
are having a lot of conversation in here. It's hard to keep up with everything and also pay attention to everyone here.
Sorry,
anyway,
I'm Lauren blaming.
and Lauren,
and Lauren shaming. Go on.
So many jobs. So yeah, Hanan and Audrey and a few other people are thinking that yes, Baby Dodds probably knew something.
Right.
Maybe knew somebody who had been a victim
Assaulted.
before, or just had heard rumors or something. So
Ooh.
y'all are smart out there.
What if Baby Dodds, because we'd always talked about we don't really get his backstory.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because I've been waiting for that, and I hope they don't leave. I know he's going to be leaving the show, but I hope they don't.
Or we all assume?
Maybe.
We all assume.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know that
so
it's
not.
confirmed.
Sorry, my bad.
Right, 'cause
I
it's
thought
on-
I
Wait,
thought
like,
it was
do you
a
know
for sure.
somebody said
No,
it was on-
I don't know anything for sure, but I just felt like it was
He's going
that
on
way.
Broadway.
Oh, yeah, maybe
Someone
someone
mentioned
said
that
Yeah.
he's going.
Whatever, go
back
on.
on Broadway.
So, Baby Dodds,
Yeah, I just figured.
we'd get it before he leaves.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot more this episode.
because Papa Dodds made it that way.
Yeah, he
Right,
really
'cause
did.
they're going against each other, and they've always been so like annoying together.
They were.
you know.
Yeah, but I love
want you to
Peter
come here with me and my
Gallagher.
father.
I really love Peter Gallagher, and I hate seeing him like this.
Oh.
I agree.
Even when he was a villain in Mr. Deeds, I loved him. But like seeing him a villain on this show, he's just a jerk.
Yeah.
But he sits in it
Yeah.
he sits in it perfectly actually because I believed all of it. He brought emotion out of me and flipped it. Now I like his son. So finally, y'all.
Yeah, it's nice to see Baby Dodds not being such a goody-goody and like a to
Yes.
his dad, and to be like siding with his team more for sure.
I've always felt like he sided with his team though.
Today when
But
with
he
the
would
Rollins,
never be risky in any
Yes,
way. So
but
this
he-
was risky
right.
on his part.
Well, now that he's been shot, he's a rebel.
He's wild. He's a hero.
Yeah, he's not by the book this time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely
At all.
not.
At
Yeah.
all.
how did you guys think
got
it could
that.
have gone any other way when Rollins had gone through with that and then he came down and he was like, "Oh, we know each other." She said that.
Oh,
How could it? I mean, to me, I feel like he outed the whole situation.
he did. Oh, okay. So let's talk about Rollins Undercover because that is, it was one of my favorite parts was seeing her go there, and I got scared for her.
Yeah.
Right. So at the moment where she's down there, and she's getting attacked, and Noel's attacking, and you see her wrist being held. At that moment, I went, she didn't bring backup. This is not going to end well.
I was waiting for the backup. I really thought, they're orchestrating a whole undercover sting right now.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
as you're watching, I'm like, okay, she's in there. I was getting nervous as well, like something, but it's going too far. But obviously, they are listening somehow, and right when she says the code word or
Yeah.
whatever, they're gonna break in there, and then
They did.
I was
and
total
thankfully,
opposite.
she's such a badass.
You were opposite?
I was total opposite. I assumed she went on her own, and then as she was down there, like when he grabbed her wrist, I was like, they probably he probably realized or saw her at because they had gone to the
Precinct.
how many
Yeah,
times?
that was the-
so it was like Rollins is always in the middle. You know what I mean? So how could they
yeah.
not have
Wait,
seen her?
When
And I
did
thought
they
that
go
that's
to
what
the
they were doing.
precinct?
Or Bobby did. Oh no, they went to what's his name's office.
They went to Papa Dodd's
she
office.
wasn't
Oh,
there.
instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
But
thought
they were in the vlog.
Yeah, she was
Right,
definitely
she
in the
was in the
vlog
vlog.
with Carisi. Well, unless the vlogger didn't edit in within the video, but I assume that she did. I'm surprised that D'Amico and Panko.
Can't she get in
Didn't
trouble for
recognize
that without like just putting that video out there without blurring your faces?
She
or
doesn't
something?
care. She's a vlogger.
That's true because they were filmed without their acknowledgement
You know?
or consent.
Yeah.
I mean, but once she said, "What were your names again?" I think
well-
at that point they know. I liked seeing her go down there, but we've been talking about how Rollins is. She's no longer. She doesn't have a gambling problem because she has a child, but now we're seeing her be so freaking reckless. And when Benson yells at her at the end of the episode and lectures her about how she can't trust her, all that went through my head was, do you remember how many times Benson has pulled the same type of ish on this show in the last 17 seasons, and how the captain used to not trust her, and he used to get mad at her and at Stabler for supporting her and always having her back.
Yeah.
Taylor in the chat said that exact same thing. She's like, it's crazy to think Benson's in charge of Rollins who never listens, but Olivia used to be that same kind of detective.
But I think
you
it
know, who always
has to go
out
that
around.
way. I think it has to go that way because Olivia was younger and she was called out by her captain because she was in the wrong, and that's something she's learned. So, of course, she's not gonna
Grow.
Of course, she's gonna say, "No, Rollins, you can't do that. Like, you have to grow from this, like I have." Like, I think they have to be called out. Otherwise, then anybody can just do whatever they want, you know, without anybody's permission. Somebody has to call them out. So.
I mean, I'm with that. It was a little like, Liv, come on. She was trying to help her out.
Yeah.
You would have given her the Liv face if she didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
She could have been softer.
But I mean, being, you know,
Also, Benson would have done the same thing. Do you
Yeah.
remember when Benson went undercover at the women's prison? She was almost assaulted there.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We don't want you to do this," and she was like, "I'm doing it anyway."
Yeah.
And then there was the episode where she, where there was the, what's the anthrax? I was like, "What's the thing?" Anthrax. When they taped the interview because they knew that the FBI was going to come and take the guy, and then she took the interview to the reporter and leaked it. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. But like all of these episodes, Stabler did it too. They all did it. They all did it.
I mean, I think she could have been a little bit more understanding, but Amanda still should be called out for it.
Right. She should get in trouble.
Yeah.
It seemed very quick for Liv to immediately not believe Amanda.
Yeah,
You know, like
that
I thought
agree.
she would not cut her some slack, like definitely come down hard
Yeah,
on
but
her. But
If you were in
know.
that situation, you're the one who did this. The case fell apart. You would be the one to leak it.
But it would also be
And-
on Olivia's head because it had something happen to Amanda.
Yep.
It would have been on Olivia's head.
Right.
Exactly. But, you know, when she's in there, she's like, she's lying right to my face. I'm like, yeah, but do you really think she is? But we also know Amanda's track record, you know, she has been a
has.
liar. So.
and I just think, again, I was reading online and everyone's starting to say the same things where they think Rollins is going to become the new Liv. And so I wonder if that's why Liv is pushing all this on her right now, because we're going to get, I mean, who knows with next week, but I mean, moving forward with the story, it's like, how much longer is Liv going to be able to handle having a kid, having all this stuff out? I just feel like we're going to get that post-traumatic stress story with Liv eventually, and Rollins will.
Let's talk about the Rollins situation having a kid.
It's such a, they just
Dodds-
glaze it over.
Yeah, but Dodds was being
he was
such
such
a
a
jerk.
I
Oh,
mean,
I wanted to punch him in the face.
He's like, shouldn't you be home? Don't you have a baby? I'm like,
but that's such a
whoa,
Papa
bro.
Dodds thing, I feel, too.
Yeah.
You think he got it from Papa Dodds?
Oh, yeah, he got it from Papa Dodds.
I felt like it was very like, well, you're a woman. Shouldn't you be at home in the kitchen?
Oh my
5 o'clock. Yeah.
Like, why are you here before me? Almost, I totally felt the same way.
But you're a woman. You have children. You need to go and take care of them.
Yeah.
'Cause
Who's
even
taking care of them?
in the moment, she's undercover. She said no. He said yes. It was almost like, why would you say yes in this moment? If we're on a team, you
Yeah.
should have been able to read my
Right.
facial expression or the situation out. But you want to take control. Yes, we do know each other, and now here you got the cops, and now
I mean,
I'm asked out.
He had a little bit of a point in that she didn't know that they had lawyered up and whatever. So we had talked about this a little bit during the chat or during our chat before. That what if she hadn't pulled out her badge and arrested him. And she had just been undercover, and then, or not had been undercover. She was drinking. She was off the clock. She was at this club, and this happened to her. She happened to record it. The vlogger recorded stuff, too. Could not she have taken this as, I am another victim?
I think because she went there with the intent to do that, you know,
To trick him. I mean, she was pretending she was someone else.
And she's working on the case. I don't think you would be able to.
It's like a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have argued more for it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like, nope. Because I'm all about trying to find the loopholes, and I feel like there's probably one they could have gone with.
I was very upset when they couldn't bring those two guys to the stand. And so that way...
I loved that, though.
I did.
That was such a smart move on the Lauren's part. I was like, ooh, this sucks, but that was good.
But I love when Barbara questions the perps. He's so good.
He is
Guys,
so good.
I love Barbara so much.
He was just like, what?
Yeah.
Dang it.
I just love when he questions them and tricks them. And, Barbara.
I think they were very harsh on the girl. They were really mean to her.
Yep.
They kept saying she's such a hot mess. She's just an attention seeker. She's such a terrible victim. And the whole time I was thinking, I was like, and I told you guys this, I was like, I really didn't think she was that bad. I mean, she was annoying.
Yeah.
Sure, but...
Well, a terrible victim in terms of them not having a strong case.
Right.
I think is what they mean, because she lied 3 times, and then
But
there's
other people
video. There's
have.
so much video footage of just in the context of this case,
Yeah.
and so much video footage of her like having a great time, and then right after still having a great time,
Yeah.
But she went. I think the point that the prosecution missed was that she looked like she was having a good time because it was a friend's birthday and she didn't want to ruin that girl's night, which is nice of her. But then she went to the ER, right? Like, she didn't go home and then 2 days later go to the ER. She like pretended everything was cool and then went to the ER.
Right.
Because what if she comes out and cries rape in the club? They're going to shut her up. I mean, as you saw when Rollins left, they came to try to shut her up.
Yeah.
Some things to think about.
Lose-lose situation.
All right, before we move on, real quick, Carisi took the bar exam.
He's so
Yay.
cute. Like, so I took the bar. You're my inspiration. He was just such
That
a
was it.
puppy.
That was a very endearing moment. I love that, actually.
Do we think he's gonna pass?
Yes.
I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if he didn't pass and he would be crushed.
I feel bad, but I almost feel like he's not smart enough to.
So here's what I think.
I think he is.
I think he is, though.
I think that if he passes, he's going to try to leave SVU. And I think that if he fails, he's stuck at SVU. And that's a much more interesting story, is that he was planning on leaving.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, well, if he passes, what's he doing with his law degree?
Yeah.
Well, I think if he fails, I also think finally we can get a little bit more backstory to him and kind of get to know him a little bit better, because I am starting to really like him. I know you don't like the backstory thing, but we don't, other than his sister, I don't know anything else other than he's like Barbara's little puppy dog, and he's all about law school. Other than that, like, what else?
He goes to law school.
Yeah, he goes.
Do you think
night class?
Think they're training him to be the new Barbara, maybe?
No. Shut your
Well,
mouth.
that's the wrong question even asking.
Yeah, no, shut your mouth.
To be like another,
Like, almost to have
move
him-
on into the lawyer side of the
maybe
show.
Law and
definitely-
Order.
I definitely think that's in their mind somewhere.
No, shut up.
Prosecution.
Barbara. Barbara's staying.
I know.
Oh,
We
okay. I
mean,
had
I'm here for
someone else in the chat said that, Jesse, you need to stop talking about Liv leaving. You just want everyone. You're ready for fresh blood.
No, I keep saying I don't want Liv to leave.
Okay. Guys, we need to take a moment and thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. We have a full panel. Yay!
Yay!
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for
you so
joining
much.
us. Thank you to everyone who's live in the chat. We really appreciate you coming, and we really appreciate everything you do for us and everything we do for you. We like talking about the show. I clearly love this show. I bring it up in everyday discussion, which is weird, but great. So thank you. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, hit subscribe, that way you don't miss a single episode. Also, give us a rating and a review. If you like us, that's 5 stars. If you don't like us, that's 4 stars. The other stars, they do not work. I'm telling you, they don't. So leave a comment, let us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better, and you will get a shout out live right here on the air. Lauren's gonna do it today.
I have a few.
Oh,
how many should I read?
3.
We've got a couple. 3.
Because
Okay.
we have a lot more to talk about.
I'm going to read. Well, shoot. Did we read? I don't know. I'm gonna read the most recent, and then we'll decide which other ones we haven't read. Okay. From Katie Hallman. She says, one of my favorite shows and after shows, 5 stars, woo! And then she says, SVU is great, one of my favorites, great after show. Love to hear your opinions on the show. It's almost like having a best friend to talk to.
I love when they say things like that. It's cute.
Great after show that brings humor to sad topics when needed. Bring on more great after shows. Tons of exclamation points, happy face.
Awesome. This
Thanks,
one you
Katie.
can read as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Katie.
Great. Okay, so great podcast by Sci-Fi Torian. Law & Order SVU is a very dark and dramatic show. I feel that the AFTERBUZZ after show is the perfect companion to the series. Listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube after seeing the show will definitely make it a better viewing experience.
Aww.
The hosts do a great job of discussing very serious subjects and analyzing the show while at the same time providing a fun sense of humor. 5 stars.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So kind. So kind.
Okay. I think we're going to change gears a little bit because I think it's time to go into real SVU news.
Dun, dun, dun.
News and gossip? There it is.
Ooh,
Okay.
it's like a mashup.
It's all of it. Oh, gosh. Okay, guys, I don't know if anyone's been following the Kesha situation. But, like, this ish has gotten crazy. We first talked about the Kesha situation here on the after show when she first said that she was assaulted. And it was very, at the time, her statement was not corroborated. There was no evidence. It was a very weak statement. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just explaining back then. That's where we were. Here's where we are now.
Well, she even denied it in the past, too. Because her mom was, like, getting involved. She's like, no, that's crazy. I don't know why I should say that.
So here's what you need to know. I found an article that is, in fact, called Kesha versus Dr. Luke, What to Know About the Case. Okay, so Dr. Luke is one of the biggest hitmakers in pop music. He worked with Britney Spears, Kelly Clarkson, Pink, Nicki Minaj, Miley Cyrus, and Katy Perry. He produced and co-wrote with them. He got his start on SNL, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is the case? Kesha first filed a complaint against him in October 2014, alleging that he emotionally and physically abused her and threatened to shut her career down if she ever told anyone. The suit requested Kesha be released from any contracts with him. I cannot work with Dr. Luke. I physically cannot, she said in an affidavit in 2015. I don't feel safe in any way. He has threatened me many times. He responded by filing a defamation suit claiming that she, calling her claims a campaign of publishing false and shocking accusations to extort into letting Kesha out of the contract. He says, I didn't rape Kesha. I've never had sex with her. He put that on Twitter this week. It's sad that she would turn a contract negotiation into something horrendous and untrue. He also says, I feel confident when this is over, lies will be exposed and the truth will prevail. So let me move down to more. He also points out that she denied under oath about the allegations, and he posted her testimony. Okay, so the question is, why can't Kesha make music? So his lawyer argues that Kesha is already free to record and release music without him, as long as a producer, if she wants, yeah, right? You're reading this with me? Mm-hmm. Good. And Sony claims, but her lawyers say that Sony claims Kesha can still record music without him in an elusive promise. Interesting. Other stars have jumped in. Okay, so I want to talk about the other stars that are jumping in. So Kelly Clarkson defended him previously. I heard that this morning on some story. But she just tweeted February 19th, trying to not say anything since I can't say anything nice about a person. So this is me not talking about Dr. Luke.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So many subtweets going on.
I think celebrities need to hold off on
judgments.
Yeah, saying anything.
So Lena Dunham posted, to be clear, you don't like Lena Dunham?
She kind of drives me crazy.
Okay. She posted, to be clear, Kesha's case is about more than a pop star fighting for her freedom or a $60 million investment in a shiny commercial career. It's about more than whether Kesha can strap on her cool leotard and make another album, free from a man who she says terrifies her. It's even about more than the systemic misogyny of the entertainment industry, or the way women in music and film have long been controlled and coerced by abusive Svengalis and entitled entities larger than themselves. Think the studio system of the 40s and 50s when starlets were essentially what?
Chattel.
Sure. Think Ike and Tina Turner. What's happening to Kesha highlights the way that the American legal system continues to hurt women by failing to protect them from the men they identify as abusers. Just to be clear, this font is really hard to read.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear that I can read a little.
Well, and I mean, thinking, obviously, if you want to breach your contract or whatever, yeah, stuff happens with that in most situations. There are consequences for that.
Right.
But, gosh, like, I would think that if this is your label, like, your label should have your back.
Right.
You know, it's so messed up.
So Kesha posted something after this whole thing. She went to court, for those who missed it, she went to court, and the judge says that she cannot get out of her contract. Yeah.
But said that she doesn't have to work with him, and other producers, Zed and all these people have stepped up to offer them for free. But because she signed to that 6 deal, I wish the judge would put something down saying the two cannot work together.
Yeah.
Because she's right. Say Zed does put the album out and Sony says, okay, you're going to work with Zed as a producer and put out the next album. She puts it out and it's like an art flop like Lady Gaga. Then they say, well, that wasn't really working. We want you back with Dr. Luke because when you do music with Dr. Luke. So that's why I totally believe when she says that's a fake promise. Like, you can't promise that. So the judge has to say, look, if this is what's going on there and there is proof that you guys may have covered this out. Let's just put an end to it. She can't work with him. It's that simple.
So
really.
she posted on Instagram, I'm so beyond humbled and thankful for all the support I've received from everyone. Words cannot express my emotions. I've gone through reading and seeing how amazing everyone has been to me. This is a really long post, so I'm going to skip to the bottom. Unfortunately, I don't think my case is giving people who have been abused confidence to that they can speak out, and that's a problem. But I just want to say that if you've been abused, please don't be afraid to speak out. There are places that make you feel safe. There are people who will help you. I, for one, will stand beside you and behind you. I now know how it feels and will ever fight for you the way perfect strangers have been fighting for me. Yes, I'm very much a feminist, but more than that, I'm a humanist. I believe in supporting my fellow human beings and being safe. We're all in this together. You're not alone. I love you and thank you. And Mariska has something to say. She tweeted, for many survivors, speaking out is the hardest part. It's also only the first step. Sending you strength, Kesha, as you move through this. So Mariska has said something which is amazing.
Another star that said something that for me was kind of telling was Pink.
Oh, Pink
because
did speak
Pink
out.
has worked with him, and she didn't say anything, but she just put the hashtag free Kesha, and to me that's kind of telling. Where a couple of the other females that have worked with him in the past are supporting Kesha. So
there was also, for those who missed the whole Demi Lovato Taylor Swift argument, I don't know what to call it. It's not a feud. So Taylor Swift has not made any public statements about this, but she did donate, was it 25 grand?
250,000.
250,000? I know money.
Any more zeros?
One more zero. To Kesha's legal fees. But Demi has pointed out that she's not making any statements. She's not saying anything. And
she did that because of Demi's statement. That's what.
Well, no, but then she also said afterwards, like, yeah, but you still haven't said anything.
Oh, she said twice.
You know.
I mean, the thing is, okay, so it's a
doesn't have
cycle.
to.
It's a cycle, though, right? People. This is why victims are so terrified of telling the whole truth right away because of situations like this, right? And so, of course, like when you have Taylor Swift and all these people like looking to see, oh shit, like, that Kesha nothing's moving forward, of course they're going to be scared too, to like be involved when they're kind of on the outside and they don't need to be involved just yet or...
I mean, I think that's why Kesha's statement and Mariska's statements are so important, that like, you're right, sometimes it doesn't always go our way. We have an episode about it, but you know, saying something is really important.
Yeah.
And, there's something else I want to say. There was also, and I'm going to say this is 100% rumor, so Gaga had recently revealed that she was assaulted in the past. And she said something somebody, I think it was Kesha's lawyer said something about Gaga, suggesting that it was Dr. Luke. So some things to look at, all rumor.
Yeah, they're also calling him, well, the prosecution is trying to say, oh, he's the Bill Cosby of the music industry. Other girls would have to come out and support this, and they haven't. So to make that statement is...
Okay. Changing gears, other news that you all had to share? No other news?
I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but Terry Crews came out and talked about his porn addiction.
Absolutely.
If we want to go back to like last week's episode, you know, so he came out and basically said in a 3-video... about 15 minutes worth of conversation, but I love it because I think it's something that people, you know, men, women are scared, or not scared, but don't want to talk about. You know, when you get a little excessive. But he came out to say porn. He was addicted to porn, and it was ruining his relationship, his family life. He went out there to say that not only this, but young kids, it's so easily accessible, and then it becomes this overly driven fantasy world that we can't make a reality.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think that porn addiction and sex addiction are very serious things. I think they're often considered they're often considered like not real addictions.
I think that if you're open it with your significant other, if that is something that they are not comfortable with, don't do it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that porn addiction is further than I'm not comfortable with my partner watching porn. It's I am compulsively watching it. Yeah. It's the same way an alcoholic is addicted to alcohol.
You know, it's replacing other things that it shouldn't be replacing, and you become way too dependent on it, and it's you're not doing it in moderation.
And it's so easily accessible now, and that's kind of a conversation that's coming out of it, is how do we restrict it, you know, for younger kids to not see it. I brought up, I don't know if you remember when the internet kind of first came out, like Net Nanny and all those like parental guides for the internet where they can lock it all up. You know, it's just, to me, I was playing a game on a phone the other day, and at one of the commercials on the phone was like a sex site, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Awesome. I would love to continue talking about this because, as people know, I like talking about porn. But unfortunately, we need to get into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
What did you want to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that you were talking about the Kelly Giddish interview about how she's like, oh yeah, it pulls from several different stories and stuff like that, and Cosby is definitely one of them. But then, if anyone out there is familiar with the Sam Pepper YouTuber guy, so I'm sure that was some influence for it. So this was back in like a couple years ago, like 2014.
He's
a big YouTuber.
His shtick was that he would assault people.
No, but so
then it was revealed that
he would assault people, take like these awful like prank videos where he's pretty much just assaulting, sexually harassing.
He would
women.
like walk up to
grab
them
their
and kiss them
and stuff, kiss them without and filming it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
And so he's doing those kinds of videos for one, and then a woman came forward and put like an anonymous YouTube video up saying that he had raped her, and then several other women came forward saying similar things. So this is, ties in the whole vlogging angle.
Nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
I'll tweet it right now.
Okay, let's quickly, because next week we see that there is a big sex scandal. It involves a judge and some assemblymen, councilmen. It could bring down SVU. And Barbara says to Olivia, you and I are done talking.
I think they mean that in context of like, don't say anything more that's going to incriminate any of us.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's not as dramatic as it looks. He's just trying to protect her, and they're in some heated discussion.
Yeah, and I really think that because if you have all these...
He's like,
You don't think so?
No, I mean, I'm just listening to y'all.
Really?
I'm creating my own story in my head. What's going to happen?
I think, like, whatever happens to, like, the judges and I don't know who else, the councilmen who are involved, what's going to happen is I think that that's going to void a lot of cases that they've handled in the past, and I think you're opening a whole nother, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm just curious as to know why the box is on her desk. Why is she grabbing that? How is this going to attach herself? So that's interesting that you say it might void out some other cases, and then they're going to go back and research something and see Liv tied to. I don't even know.
Because it could bring down SVU. I was pointing out. I think Buchanan. This is a crazy prediction, guys. I think Buchanan is going to be revealed that he assaults children.
Oh my god!
Or something
in his
crazy.
basement.
Yeah, because everyone so far that's not SVU specific, right? Look at last week.
They've been getting in trouble.
Was Hank, Rudnick, like everyone who's not part of SVU is getting in trouble because they're doing awful things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Buchanan, fingers crossed, who does something awful.
You're waiting for that karma to be served.
Yeah.
Taylor in the chat says that the writers are making next week's episode sound crazy. That there's like a lot of Tuxin or Becker for you,
guys.
and that Liv has a breakdown and maybe related to her drinking. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
What's going
I forgot
on?
about her.
I want to
drinking.
get back into that, honestly,
Yeah.
though. I want us to get back into who was on that phone
Oh,
call.
it was Tucker.
I think it was Tucker.
I think we've
for
established
sure.
it's Tucker.
I think it's Tucker.
Okay.
You think it was
I want
someone
them to
else?
show us that.
Okay.
I just want more of
Tucker?
the back. No, I just want more backstories. Period.
Wait.
I feel like we get so heavily with the
Yes.
cases that I want a little
love
something
backstories.
more with what's going on with Liv and mentally. The cases that she's been affected by. What's going on in real life? We
Yeah.
just see her angry at Rollins. So.
Next time we see Noah, he's going to be like 8.
I mean, I'd be okay with us not seeing him till he's a teenager. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us all week. You can keep in touch with us on the interwebs. Jesse, where can they keep in touch with you?
DJ Jesse J.
All right. And Isabelle.
You guys can find me all over at Isabelle Do.
Okay. Lauren.
And you can find me at Lauren Salaun.
Wow, you guys are being real simple. Hi, guys. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm going to spell that for you because it's hard. You can find me online at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I'm still doing a DVD giveaway on Twitter and Instagram, so make sure you are following me on both to win DVDs. Yay, DVDs. Also, I have a new podcast. You can check it out. It's called Intimate Interrogations. It's as naughty as it sounds.
It's
so
very
check
good,
it out.
actually. You guys should listen
oh,
to it.
thanks.
Yeah, I like it. I love it a lot.
Aw.
I really mean that, honestly.
Yeah, and I get to record it here at AFTERBUZZ. So thanks, AFTERBUZZ. It's available for free on iTunes, and we will see you here next week for more SVU. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.